Ladies and gentlemen, this is the next thing right here. Today we're doing this, which is called the indexing guide, and this is the transfer fork. So I'm going to do the sketch for you and then let you do the rest of this. The sketch is the hard part. So we'll just do another one right here. In fact, I got it started already. So I just drew the circle and extruded it. So let's look at this instructions here. So the radius was 2.5 for the outer circle. So I did a diameter of 5, and it says it was extruded 1. Now, we have these rectangular cuts here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. And then we have this little one different type of a rectangular cut. And it's out at 45, 135, 225, or whatever, 315. So we could draw all 8 of these. That would be pretty tedious. We have what's called an array, which we didn't get to teach you last semester. The full-blown AutoCAD. I've told the online AutoCAD now they've added arrays, but they're just patterns. Anyway, we're going to do one of these, and then we're going to tell it to replicate 3 more times. So we notice that this is somewhere a half-inch deep or wide, and we're not told how tall this is. But we're told that from this 3 inches, from the bottom of one cut to the bottom of the one across from it is 3 inches. That means it's 1.5 inches from the center. 1.5 inches from the center, ½ inch wide. So let's do that first. And so we're going to do a sketch right on that surface. I'm going to look right at it. And I'm going to draw a rectangle. That is a ½ inch wide. 0.5. And it's a certain distance from the center, but I need to be able to choose the center, which I right now can't. So I have to put a point there. So I'm going to get out of that command, and I'm going to go to my point command, and I'm going to put a point right there. And while I'm at it, put one at the midpoint of this line. So I can now line those up so that this box is centered. I want it vertical. This point to that point. And we said the dimension is 1.5, right? Half of 3. All right, then we have another little cut over here. It kind of looks like this. Now we're going to use this just like we did on a couple of projects last week. We're going to cut this box. I don't care if it's sticking out over the edge. That's not, if I tell it to remove, it'll just remove what's intersecting, and the thing out in the air will just stay where it is. And to close this off and make it a region, I'll use the 3-point arc. The 3-point arc, you pick the beginning and the end, and then you can tell it where to go. You could put a radius in if you wanted to. You can click on this and dimension it. Notice that when you put in an arc, it tells you where the center point is. That center point will move around a little bit as I move this around a little bit. Okay, so now where is this thing? So we go back to our dimensions, and we notice that the bottom of this thing is 1 1/4 from the center, and the edge is 1 1/4 from the center marked on a vertical line. So 1 1/4, 1 1/4. And this is it's going to be real convenient. We have a center point here. So from the center to the bottom, in this direction is 1.25. And from this point to that line is also 1.25. And we're happy with that. Now that's one instance of both these. Now, this arc is not critical. It could be like this. See how that center point's moving? And it could be like this. As long as it's outside here. Same with this. I can move it up and down. This part out here doesn't matter. The part that matters is in here. Okay. As long as it's outside, we're good. All right, so now we want to do an array. Now, the closer this sketch is to the center here, the easier it is, because it wants to center the array. The array is just copying these things a certain number of times. So it's a little bit confusing, but we'll figure it out. Okay, so here is yours I think is going to look like this. So we want to pull this down and go circular pattern. So there's your order of operations. We select the tool. When we click on circular pattern, that's selecting the tool. We'll select all the entities that we want to copy. Then there'll be a little dialog box to show the number of instances. The default will work for number 4, but you could, it's going to assume that it's 360 degrees, but it doesn't have to be. And then number 5 is that it's going to assume that you want the center of that thing to be here, so it's going to copy it all the way around here. We're just going to grab that center and yank it into here. Okay, so let's do it. Circular pattern. Select all the elements. Over here it says 3 times. I want double click. I want 4. Then I'm going to grab this center point and yank it into that center point. Then I left click again. And there you go. We have all these there. Then I can accept my sketch. And I extrude. I'm going to remove all these little parts. Uno, doso, treso, quattorso, cinco, seso, seto, ocho. You didn't know I was fluent in Spanish, did you? Bingo. Now, remember from yesterday what this is called? We extrude it out from a face. This is the base. We're going to put a boss on it. You'll just add your circular boss. Then from the top of the boss, you'll put a hole in it. That part is simple. Okay, so that's it.